So a woman went to Reddit yesterday and she created an account specifically to talk to me because I let people know that I am available on Reddit as BurbNBougie. She said that she was watching a few videos and she wanted to comment, but then she got intimidated. So here's the comment. She did this in the chat box. She says, y'all, no matter how much research, time, and preparation y'all do, you'll never know who you get because they can very well display and be exactly who you want until they trap you. This dude read me so well. He preyed on me, studied me, and was so ready to manipulate me. He's turned people against me so that whenever I reach out for advice, they're fake nice with me and they report to him, only for him to say, info gets back to him. He brings people home whenever I'm at work, only to deny it. When I ask him about it, he doesn't give. When I ask him about it, he doesn't give me access to the home cameras. He randomly orders packages that never arrive at the house. I later found out they were gifts to his side lady. He always gaslights me, stonewalls me whenever I try to talk to him. He never apologizes and turns it around on me instead, and I'm the one who apologizes for hurting myself. Okay, number one, these men do study you. And so when we give way too much information, all they have to do is either remember it, store it away for later, or whatever. They are literally studying us. They're studying our social media. They're putting out posts that are gathering information. They are literally doing that, and they are being manipulative. So stop giving them the cheat code by giving them so much information. So, but that's neither here nor there. Let's finish up her statement. All right. So she's apologizing for hurting herself. Geez, she says this is the hardest relationship I've ever had. It's such a mind trip that I have no idea who I am anymore. I don't know how I'm going to get out. He was all I wanted at first. And not even a week after moving in with him, he's done a 180 where he's completely different and the opposite to the sweet guy he was in the beginning. I knew something was off after I moved in, only to find out he's been cheating on me with a coworker since a little before I moved in with him. He played me so well, even after planning and dating for a while. I confronted him and gave him an ultimatum to stop communications with her. He begged me for another chance. I asked him to work on himself, only to find out months later he never stopped communication with this coworker. I'm so lost and hurt. I have no idea. I have no idea how I'm going to get the courage to leave. I have moved halfway across the country to be with him. I just started working again in this new city due to the stress and falling into a deep depression. Getting out of bed to work was extremely difficult. So I lost my job the first time around. On top of that, he was nasty about it too. He wanted me to give him money for his bills and his side lady coworker, even though I didn't have income anymore. I couldn't even cover my own bills. I don't have anywhere to go, but I cannot stand to live here anymore. I'm also being torn apart by the fact that he's nice to me sometimes when it benefits him, just so he can tell others he's nice to me. That in itself confuses me because it contradicts his past and his current behaviors and actions. I have no idea how to get out of here. I'm so tired and torn. I feel so foggy and discombobulated. It's hard to think straight. It's really imperative that you get the book. Why Does He Do That by Lundy Bancroft. These people show who they are able to be actors. They are one person with you, they're one person to the outside world. So it'll always look like you are the problem. Like you have issues, and oh my God, I cannot believe she's acting like this. And people are sympathetic towards him because he's putting up with you. Literally, you got to figure out how to get some money to get away from this man. So she gave me some background on how she got to this point. She says she's 33. She's a nurse that moved across the nation for this dude whom I thought was a great guy. He's 34. Left a great job in team, my two old dogs to start a brand new life in a city I've come to realize I don't like. Help him out with bills, and he's no longer helping around the house with chores. I feel I sacrificed a lot just to be treated this way, and he thinks I'm overreacting and making a big deal out of something small, and I feel otherwise. I'm sorry if this seems all over the place, but I feel I can't think straight these days. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm not really sure what to do next, but I just wanted to let people know that no matter how much planning you do or how much you get to know someone, I feel you can't really rely on what one person says about themselves, and you have to get to know them, see them in their habitat, as in seeing how they are with their friends, seeing how they treat their past partners, hearing what their friends have to say about them. I guess pretty much observe their actions and compare their actions against their word. This is something I didn't get much of a chance to do since we could only video chat with each other and I couldn't see him. I couldn't see him with his friends. Once I moved in, he would badmouth everyone and everything, including his parents. He would even announce that he was going to hell and he was proud of that. His exact words, to say the least. Okay, my next thing. Please don't move for a man. Please don't move for a man. I mean, if you're going to move, at least already have your own stuff situated. You have your own place to live. You have a job that will sustain your lifestyle. But please don't move for a man. Don't do this. We have got to stop doing this. Stop moving states. Stop moving to another country. Stop being on his turf because he is in control of everything until this woman gets herself together and is able to gather up a couple of coins and get out of there. You are, ma'am, are going to have to like couch surf. You're going to have to get a couple of coins, get out of there, get back home, and couch surf until you can get a job. That's because otherwise he's going to continue to use you to be his maid while he's able to be a different person to the coworker. The coworker is getting the supported man. She's getting this man that doesn't have to worry about things like cooking, cleaning, doing things for himself because he has you at home. So you got to get away from this. You're going to have to ask a support system, somebody to, maybe front you some money or something to get out of this situation. um, but everybody else, y'all listen to this story. Please don't hammer her too hard. Obviously, she's in disarray right now. Give um, give advice that is helpful. She already has somebody that is at home beating her down, and she's obviously beating herself down for the situation that she has put herself in. All right, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Y'all, this one is a doozy. This woman is saying, am I the a-hole for digging in my heels about putting Nookie in a prenup? Yeah, I always say this about women in these Am I the a-hole threads. Women are simply looking for validation for feeling normal human emotion. She says, I honestly can't believe I'm asking this, but my boyfriend has gotten so mad that I'm feeling a little crazy now, both 34. He had a terrible marriage before me that ended in a dead bedroom, and he's determined to never go back to that life again. Understood. I think that sucked for him to experience. So now he wants a prenup and literally write in the prenup that we will hump X amount of times a week or else I get absolutely nothing in the divorce. I already agreed to a 50-50 prenup of marital assets, and we keep what we came into the marriage with. Now that's not enough for him. He wants me to prove that I won't stop giving him Nookie with him in the future. I tell him I can't prove the future, and putting something in writing doesn't prove that. Now he says I must have a guilty conscience if I won't sign these terms, because if I'm so certain it won't happen, then what's the problem? But to me, it makes me feel like a nookie slave and not a loved wife or partner. Y'all, this is already bad, but let's just dig into some of these comments. This person says, can I make a guess? Everything that was wrong in his last relationship was her fault, right? He did nothing wrong and she's crazy. That's called a smear campaign. You got yourself a doozy. Nookie contracts are illegal, very illegal, human trafficking level illegal, not the a-hole. This person says, walk, don't run, run away, and don't look back. He's not in a mental place in his life where he will be a good partner. And from the sounds of it, he has no intention of change. And then someone says, girl, your post history says you broke up with him. What are you doing? He's manipulating the out of you. Leave. And then somebody else says, hiding something about your partner because you know it'll make people angry is a sign of a relationship being abusive. Please, please do not marry him. It'll only get worse from there. And then, yeah, so the number of times written into the contract doesn't matter if there is already abuse and red flags. And then, this person highlighted that she has a post history. So obviously, I'm going to get to that too. This person at the bottom says, holy what is even going on in this relationship? You're basically signing a contract to be SA'd, no exaggeration. Girl, you've got to leave this guy. I'm going to get to her previous post in just a moment, but I do want to go through these two comments. I ended in a dead bedroom as well, roommates for 10 years, divorce as of next month at this point. I get it. I really do. I have a high libido, and it has been torture living with my desire manifest and not being able to even touch her. That all being said, no to a prenup for Nookie. I'd rather live alone than end up with the dead bedroom like I did, but signing something that is so specific removes your agency. I'm specifically looking for a high libido person after my current relationship ends, but even then, I'm not holding anyone to an unfair standard otherwise. It takes two to tango, and forced structure takes away the wonder that is the cherry on top of a love with another person. And so then the OP says, wow, that story sounds just like his. He told me right away that he wouldn't have a relationship without Nookie. And I agreed because I too have a high libido. In fact, during our relationship, I'm the one getting rejected because he's not in the mood or tired. And I have ended relationships where the Nookie stopped, but only after months. I never went years like you or him, so I can't relate to how much that f's somebody up. She continues with, so thank you for sharing this. I was never going to sign this prenup, hence the title of me digging in my heels, despite everyone glossing over that and thinking that I considered it. I just wanted to know how awful I am for refusing to sign my name to something that I also swear won't happen. I simply can't fathom myself ever creating a dead bedroom. I have needs too. Maybe things change in the future, but never actually did. And then he responds with, I think what I would do in your situation is say that you support him. And if he ever has an issue with your nookie life, divorce is always an option. And if he loves you, he'll see how much that arrangement takes from you as a person. And she responds with, that's exactly what I've been telling him, but that's not proof to him. And I still argue that it's impossible to prove the future. Why is this woman in this relationship? Why? So this is her post from a month ago. She was asking a question to men in relationships. That's the subreddit. She says, has anyone who wants a submissive woman ever found happiness with one that isn't? Okay, so like she said, they're both 34. This is when they were boyfriend, girlfriend. Okay, she says, my boyfriend has a history with a previous marriage where he was nookie neglected to the point it's a genuine trauma now. Since then, he's pursued submissive women and almost exclusively open relationships or friends with benefits. So he feels in control of getting the nookie. If one woman isn't in the mood or available, he had others he could reach out to. When we met, I made it clear that I only date in monogamous relationships. He pursued me and ended things with everyone else because he found an emotional connection with me that he didn't have with his friends with benefits. I have asked him if he can be happy with me when I'm not a submissive woman. I have a career where the women he dated and his previous wife didn't work. He provided everything. I made significantly more than him, which he has mentioned several times bothers him. Yet, when I ask if he can truly be happy with me, he tells me it's nice to not have the weight of having to provide solely on his shoulders. It's nice to have a woman that's so intelligent, someone with drive and ambition, that he absolutely fell in love with how I put myself through graduate school and have accomplished everything on my own. Yet, we have arguments all the time. If I ever say anything that isn't 100% praising him, um, on Monday, I told him I wanted salad for dinner. He made soup full of carbs, and it was delicious, and I praised him for how delicious it was and left it at that. On Tuesday, he made burritos. I ate one and told him it was really good. It was, but that I'm dieting and it's not on my diet. It's been days and he won't look at me because he says I told him that he was wrong in cooking for me. I never did, and have told him at least 2 dozen times, no exaggeration, since then, that I don't think he's wrong and rejected his act of service for me. And I'm being guilted because I reminded him that I've been telling him for 4 months that I'm dieting. Edit. I'm starting to lose hope here. He's now upset because we're not having Nookie. It's been 4 days, but we aren't having it because he won't even look at me. Says he wants me to initiate it when he's mad to get him out of the funk. But the last time he was mad at me, I got on top of him and offered him a BJ, and he refused because he was mad at me. So this relationship is a lose-lose, I guess. Update. We broke up. He kept asking for sexual things that he knows I'm semi uncomfortable with, but I agreed to try. Then he insisted he should be able to do it with me even at 2 a.m. if he wakes up horny, even if I'm asleep. When I said no, he said it won't work out because he won't be made to feel guilty because he got horny in the middle of the night. And I told him that wanting my basic needs met, like sleeping, is not guilting him, and I'm done as well. So this was a month ago, and then jump to right now, and she's talking about a Nookie prenup, and that just seems kind of wild. So a month ago, this person said he sounds like he needs therapy. The OP agreed. She said, I would agree, but he says therapy was invented to trick gullible women, so that will never happen. And the person said, well, that's a huge red flag. And then people that are on the most recent post came over here to talk. Someone a month ago said, dodged a bullet, ma'am. And then somebody else was like, but she didn't. She's now planning to marry him. And the prenup has Nookie written into it X amount of times a week. I don't get why this woman is with this man. Neither are most people that are reading this post. But y'all, no, absolutely not. Writing this kind of thing in, like one person said a few comments ago, this is taking away what it really supposed to be is connection and agency. You have the right to say no. You really do have the right to say no. And maybe he's just trying to have some control over things because she's making more money than him. I don't know. Y'all go ahead and weigh in on this one. This one is wild. This Reddit is a case of getting what you ask for and then not really wanting it. I really think that these red pillars are setting these dudes up for the okey doke. They really let these people know you need to get married. You just need to have a woman that's there to serve you and have your kids. But that could be draining. That could literally take a woman that is full of life and vivacious and vibrant and drain her because housework gets redundant. Doing that kind of thing is redundant. I will let you know that it is not a glamorous life. There's no need to put on a frilly dress and makeup to clean the floors and wash the dishes. It's just literally no point in that. And this man got what he wanted, and now he wants to divorce this woman. The title. I got married young for the wrong reasons. My wife has zero personality, and I resent her. I'm thinking of divorce. He says, I'm 32, and my wife is 35. We got married 9 years ago, and we've been together for 12 years. We have two small children, 2 and 6. When I met my wife, we were very young, still in college. She was sweet, caring, loyal, loved kids, etc. Someone that I knew would be a great mother and wife. Now that we've been together for so long, I'm building up a lot of resentment towards her. She does cook, clean, take care of the kids, etc. I do help with all these things. That's pretty much all she does. When she's not doing chores, she's watching reality TV or browsing social media. So he got what he wanted. He wanted a great mother and wife. He got that, and now he is resentful. She has no strong opinions on anything, no friends, no hobbies, interests, no strong likes or dislikes, anything. She's basically a robot housewife mom at this point. I think I married her because she was my ride or die, and I saw that she would be a loyal partner and a great mom. That being said, I just hate spending time with her. She never has any original ideas she wants to discuss, no opinions. All her interests are things that I do or enjoy, very much chameleon esque. I have to lead every conversation. If I don't ask question after question, we will sit in silence, staring at each other until I find something else to talk about. I'm at my wits' end. When I was a young male, I thought I wanted to wife up the ideal housewife and mom to be. But now that I'm much older, I'm realizing that I want a partner I enjoy spending time with, someone to challenge me, someone to share their own ideas, thoughts, and opinions with me, someone who has their own identity, likes and dislikes. Hell, she couldn't even tell me her favorite color, song, or movie. She's just there. She's a sweet woman and she's loyal to me. But I'm realizing that if I wanted a sweet and loyal companion to go with me on trips, not say a word and do what I say without arguing or disagreeing, I just get a damn puppy. Please help. Y'all, y'all. Isn't this what these men say that they want? Silence, sandwich, and sex. Isn't that what they say? They want a fit, feminine, and fertile woman to have their kids and make them a sandwich and not talk. They don't like feminists because feminists give opinions. Feminists believe, we're individuals. But he has what he wanted. He has what all these red pill dudes say that they want. And now it's just like, I don't want this. I don't want this. Y'all, I really don't think that I didn't really think that that's what they would want because, of course, people should be two individuals because it would get boring to have someone just completely mirror you. You might as well just be with yourself at that point. But that's what they act like they want. But so I don't know. Let's look at some of these comments. This person says, I'm trying to find words that won't get me banned to express how selfish you are and how ashamed I would be to know someone who thinks one person should be everything at all times. You are a taker, and I hope your children don't take after you. F it, let her find someone better. She deserves better for being a loving mother and wife. I hope you get what you deserve. This person says, have you actively tried connecting with her in a way that she'd appreciate, or just actively try connecting with her at all? This could be one of those silly couple games where you ask varying depths of questions or planning a date night or day with her. I'm seeing a lot of pointing out the issue, but not a lot of finding solutions or trying to connect. This person says, respectfully, this is what you get for marrying for the wrong reasons and saying you chose her because she seemed like the perfect housewife. You basically admitted you wanted a maid, a cook, and a womb for a wife. She's going to feel very used and resentful when she realizes that. You should get a divorce soon so she can find a better partner for herself. As for you, you will be able to find a partner who challenges you and has her own interests and strong opinions, but please don't expect her to be a housewife. If she doesn't like to cook, clean, or be a nanny to your kids, are you going to resent her too? I think it's time to do some soul searching. You're resentful because you think she acts like a robot, but you signed up for that. This person says, I desperately want to hear her side of this relationship. The next person says, proof that you can be exactly everything a man wants and he will still leave you, all while saying you're the problem. The next person, my money is on that he grounded her down and shredded her self esteem much that she has no confidence and therefore doesn't interact because she will say the wrong thing. I knew before reading past the title, I would hate this man. And what I've circled in yellow, and this is where I'm going to end it. What's crazy is this is exactly what the real red pill says men want when they turn around and resent you for it. Exactly. And no, I'm sorry. I'll end it with the last one at the bottom. She does all the cooking, cleaning, and childcare. Does she even have time or energy left for hobbies? This guy doesn't seem to know or care how hard it is to manage all those things at once by yourself. Absolutely. I don't know what to say about these things. These people talking, they talk, talk, talk. They say all of the things that they want, but then they get it, and it's just like, nah, I don't want this. Y'all weigh in on this one. Okay, I was sent this Reddit last night. I was half asleep, but the title got me, and I immediately started taking screenshots before I even read the story. So we're going to read it together and see what this is saying. This is a man. This is a man. He says, we will never reach gender equality because too many women can't bear it. Okay, I'm a woman. I'm intrigued. What can I bear? He says an example of this can be found in colleges. Back in the day, when women were a lower percentage of students, all kinds of special initiatives and measures and quotas were put in place to help them in their numbers. I'm sorry, and up their numbers. Because of this, they reached equality. But those special initiatives and measures didn't stop. Because of this, they now have been the majority of students for the past 3 decades. And still, what is all this talk from feminist groups and women high up in education and the government about? Oh my God, how can we get more women in STEM? They're so oppressed and we need to help them. Yet, when the idea of removing special privileges or even giving men some of those women got in the past when they were behind is broached, since men are behind now, these types of women get really weird about the whole idea and can't seem to stand the thought. It's an anathema to them. And if you ask any too many high up women in the education system about it, it's as though they would rather do anything than try to help men specifically. Believe me, as I come into contact with academic circles in my work, I know this for a fact. Please note, there are many normal women who don't think like this, but they don't tend to be in power positions or advocate for much, so that's not of much relevance. Anyhow, as a psychiatrist, I think perhaps it goes back to the idea or instinct that women are the ones who are in need of looking after and men aren't. And when women have societal and systematic power, the idea of looking after men specifically in the same way they think they should be looked after on a societal level seems to be off putting and unnatural to them. Oh, you'll get some waffle about the patriarchy being the problem and how once men help feminists and help women, more all about their problems will go away too. But it's just a bunch of nonsense waffling because they can't stand to simply help men as they want to be helped. Think about it. Why can't they bear the idea of putting male specific programs in place to boost male college numbers again of the same type they've had and have? It would be so easy to say, yes, let's do that. Let's help men like we wanted to be helped. But instead, they start some nonsense spiel about how we can't do that, patriarchy this and toxic that, anything other than actually help men. No doubt those arguing against this will also be saying feminism is helping men, patriarchy, blah, blah, and so on. But ironically, the truth is they're driven by the old fashioned instinct that it's women who deserve to receive special treatment. And the thought of the same for men is a little gross in their minds, and they don't understand why. So they justify it with feminist waffling that makes them feel as though they are helping, and the ones who would help men most directly are somehow doing a bad thing. That's their unconscious motivation in my mind. That and fat penis. Y'all, I swear, I'm reading this for the first time as I'm reading this with y'all. This is just a bunch of gobbledygook. Okay, I realize there is an argument that men need to push, as women have pushed in the past to get equality, to get back to equality in education, but realize that men are coming at this from a fundamentally different place that women were. As men had power, then accepted equality as a good thing, then observed this strange quirk of instinct in which too many women couldn't see seem to bear the idea of giving equal advantage to men that they demanded, and watch that instinct turn to women being advantaged and men being unequal, at least in education. So it's turned many of them off the idea as a concept. This is such BS. This is such BS. Women had to fight for opportunities to go to school. Women had to fight for opportunities to have an education because the system that we lived in was systematically keeping women and Black people out. And non white people, because other people couldn't go to school either, out of school. Women had to fight for these opportunities, not simply because they needed some special initiatives. We just wanted to go to school. Women just wanted to stay in school and have opportunities. Men are not, it's not the same because men and boys have never been systematically kept out of education. So, no, it's not just like women just need to give men the same help. No, because women and girls shouldn't have been kept out of school to begin with. So it's really not the same. And if men really wanted the same opportunities as women and girls for these boys and men, then men need to be the ones that are pushing for the initiatives. They need to be the ones at the forefront and making these things happen. It's not peen envy, and women are not going to step up and do this in mass for women. I mean, for men, because men and boys have not been barred from getting their education. And yes, women, we are pushing to get more women and girls into STEM, but we're also the ones at the forefront doing this, speaking on this, and making it happen. Men could do the same thing for boys. Men could literally do it, but instead they want to rope us into it and make it be on par with feminism when boys and men have never been restricted and had their rights pulled simply because they were born male. Yeah, I knew it was going to be some BS. The person that sent this was too giddy about having me read it. She must have known. And yeah, this this is how I really look with this. Let's read a couple of the comments. So this person says, I'm a woman and I agree. As an educator by trade, I can tell you that our education system is failing our boys. They need positive male role models, teachers, coaches, etc. If anything, helping boys and men will help girls and women by reducing behavioral issues at school and giving young men a purpose so they don't fall into a lot of traps that they are now. Encelosaurus culture, Tate, etc. So they need positive male role models. How do they get those? Do the men have to step up or do women have to facilitate men being role models? This person says, I recently read of Boys and Men by Richard Reeves, and it's remarkable how badly boys are doing. And it's not just in the US. But instead of doing something about it, they look to women and say, okay, it's your turn to work for men and boys to fix things. This person, the OP says, yes, I agree. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening because of the phenomenon I've described. I think you're going to see more and more young men fall into those traps. If anything, it's been by sheer luck for society so far that those trying to manipulate young men have been abject morons like Tate. I can't see that lasting forever. You know what? I'm already tired. These comments are not going to be productive because I don't believe that people really think that men have to do much of the heavy lifting where it comes to this. They think that women fix the things for women and girls. Now women just need to do the same for boys, and I'm just not with it. So this is not it for me. Uh, yeah, yeah. Boo. Throwing a tomato. Throwing a tomato. Y'all let me know what you think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.